Now, I didn't realise Triple H cut that little promo there at the start of last night's show with a bar of soap. And then we see this quote here from Becky Lynch's book, which is from her dad, but also the Bible, kinda, which obviously means, I am Jesus, and the reason we eat what we do on Easter is because I love Irish chocolate. And then we see that part of the book there, and you also learn that Becky Lynch was a rosebud, and that didn't kill her love and passion for professional wrestling. In fact, it only left her gagging for more, the bloody weirdo. And there's a sign there saying Santa deserved it, and because this is professional wrestling, that must mean that this person there thinks Santa deserves getting his arse handed to him by Stone Cold Steve Austin, or being run down by the car of Alberto Del Wanka. Or when the Eagles fans threw snowballs at Santa Claus, I don't know. Whatever the weather, he's a nice lad and he's fine, alright? Jesus, she's cut her hair off again and gone back to what she was in 2022. No, I can't have been the only person saying that before realising that's actually Chris Motionless, which is actually his real name.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Direct quote from Corey this time when he said you're going to have to kill Becky Lynch before she gives up at WrestleMania, before she lost the match and also remained alive. So what does this mean? I am resurrected in the name of Irish chocolate. Dun 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 dun. As we all know, Kevin Dunn did enough to be blamed for every single production error that'll ever happen again, even though he's not going to be there. And even Michael Cole himself pointed this one out during the new Catch Republic's entrance, which means we now have some kind of WTFception, a Maggle pointing out a dun 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 dun. Sorry. Damian Priest with that hair there is the cousin of Kerrigan from StarCraft. Now don't you worry if you don't have a clue who Kerrigan from StarCraft is, because nobody's heard of Kerrigan from StarCraft.
Pat! Huh! Yeah! What did you just say? Absolutely bollocks!
Got to call out Pat here for not knowing that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne used to live on Mustache Mountain and not Dunn Mountain, like he claimed they grew up on Mustache Mountain with their father, Trent Seven. What a lovely old boy he is, who's not even that old really, but that's besides the point. But speaking of Pete Dunne, oh man, that tie is going to really hurt. It's so bad I think Butch was ever a good idea. West Bromwich Building Society. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank. Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Yes, welcome back to Wankety Wank, the section of WTF Moments where you point out a WTF moment that I've missed and I give you the credit because I'm a wholesome boy. Thank you to Matthew Chambers, who was fastest first on the buzzer to point out that Michael Cole, because of that blazer there, clearly believes that mutants are the next evolution of humanity and they're destined to take over the world. Referee Jessica Carr really hates the Judgment Day. Nobody, I mean absolutely nobody, is in the same postcode as Damian Priest in that shot there, yet for some reason, out of kayfabe of course, Jessica Carr, a supposedly impartial referee, is grabbing Damian by the ankle and distracting him from climbing the ladder. I mean, of course she was doing it because the ladder was broken and she didn't want Damian Priest to go arse over tea kettle and have the worst WrestleMania moment of all time, but still, in the kayfabe, as these wrestling matches are competed, she looks biased as balls. Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson are a pair of luchadors because they're wearing masks and they are the size of doors, which are really big. And also, big bloody Jason, he can hop over the top rope while wearing a pair of Timbs, which is incroyable, as the French might say. But don't let that distract you from the fact that for 2 years in a row now at WrestleMania, Rey Mysterio has had to call on help from somebody else to beat his own bastard son. He really is a dick.
Hello, I am Lil Wayne and I just proved I'm not the greatest rapper in the world. And I did so little for so much money, you're gonna have to call me Brock Lesnar.
Now there's a reason Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso was so underwhelming last night in this horrible dickhead's opinion, and that's because it was sponsored by Dude Wipes, which I had to go and Google, and I learned, if I couldn't tell from what they're actually called, they're actually adult arse wipes for men. So it turns out this was ass from start to finish. But also Dude Wipes sponsoring a match between the sons of Rikishi, who used the stink face. It writes itself. It's very clever marketing. And what's the crack with all these commentators commentators on last night's show going, ooh, brother versus brother warfare at WrestleMania. It's only happened a handful of times before, and not mentioning the best of all the wrestling bros, The Undertaker and Kane. Everybody knows it's Undertaker and Kane who are better than the Harts, who are better than the Hardys, and then somewhere the Usos are in the middle. I don't know. Don't fight me. I don't know. Now surely, if Bianca Belair's doing that with her hair to create some kind of propeller, the lasses should be going up and not down. Now you might be wondering why Sami Zayn kicked that box there and slapped that box there. For the second Intercontinental title WrestleMania match in a row, somebody needs to call the police! Whoopsie diddles. This time because Sami Zayn attempted murder on Gunther with that brainbuster in the corner. It was sickening, but also fantastic, and a worthy move to set up the finish of a record-breaking Intercontinental Championship reign ending. 666 days of Gunther as the champion is over, and that's because with 666 being the number, Gunther is the devil. And it's also because of a tiny conspiracy. Gunther always calls the match sacred, doesn't he? And the fact that this was the first PLE with that horrible slutty prime bottle in the middle of the mat, that means that mat is no longer sacred and Gunther loses his first match in 666 days. You're telling me they're not linked? Conspiracies. There we see Peppa Pig in a 9 Inch Nails shirt. The 9 Inch Nails, they had a song called The March of the Pigs, The March of the Peppa Pigs. This all makes sense, apart from it doesn't at all. What is that thing on his shoulder? American Home Shield sponsoring a match involving 2/3 of the shield, surely meaning that only 2/3 of your home would be protected if you use that company there. If that's even what they do, I didn't Google them. All I hope is a dirty Dean Ambrose is getting a slice of that sponsor pie right there. Up the shield. You count, you're fired. You know The Rock don't F around. That's what The Rock said to that referee right there. And let me tell you, Name Redacted really did do all of his matches completely wrong back in the day, didn't he? He could have dealt with Stone Cold Steve Austin in a way more timely manner if he wanted to. I'm glad he didn't, but he could have done. Mama Rhodes said bullshit. So we get to the end of the main event. Bloodline rules are going to be a thing on night 2. It's all going well so far, but then Seth Rollins, who was hobbling for 3/4 of that match with one working leg, is down on the floor. He's been put through the Barry barricade by Roman Reigns, yet Damian Priest, who has that briefcase to cash in on someone like Seth Rollins, thinks, nah, I don't fancy it. Does Damian Priest know how this briefcase works? I'm telling you, he'll end up trying to cash it on Dwayne The Rock Johnson for that People's Championship that Mrs. Muhammad Ali gave The Rock at the Hall of Fame ceremony after The Rock has buggered off back to Hollywood, and we'll never see him again. He's that big of a flipping idiot. Oh, it's John O'Clock, you bastard! Of course I had to do it. He was Texas two-stepping, so he was the twat on the kickoff show, cutting one hell of a promo about Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio, so I had to do the John O'Clock there. Let me know in the comments down below if you saw it, because it was at the end of the video, so I guess it's kind of an Easter egg. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.